Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle IGN Live Bundle of June 2026 to help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you the viewers watching my videos. I hope they're helpful. Most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1, we have Control Ultimate Edition, a science fiction action game. The game follows the story of Jessie Faden, who discovers she has supernatural abilities and becomes a director of the Federal Bureau of Control, FBC, a secret government agency tasked with investigating paranormal phenomena. One of the most impressive aspects of Control is its gameplay mechanics. The game features a mix of exploration, puzzle solving, and combat, with players able to use a variety of telekinetic powers and firearms to defeat enemies and overcome obstacles. The game's world is also highly interactive, with players able to use their telekinetic powers to move objects and create new paths through the game's environment. The game's story is also impressive, with a mix of science fiction and horror elements. Jessie's journey takes her through a variety of different locations within the FBC's headquarters, known as the Oldest House, each of its own secrets and dangers. The game's use of lore and documents scattered throughout the game world also adds to the story, allowing players to learn more about the game's world and its characters. Control Ultimate Edition includes all of the game's previously released DLC content, including the excellent Alan Wake expansion, which ties the game's story into the broader Remedy Entertainment universe. The Ultimate Edition also includes improved graphics and performance, making it a definitive version of the game. However, the game does have some flaws. The game's difficulty can be uneven at times, with some encounters feeling frustratingly difficult while others are a breeze. The game's story can also be confusing at times, with some plot points feeling underdeveloped or rushed. Control Ultimate Edition is a substantial game, with a main story that can take around 15 to 20 hours to complete. The game's DLC content also adds several hours of additional gameplay, making it a great value for fans of action and science fiction games. In conclusion, Control Ultimate Edition is an excellent science fiction action game that offers a unique and immersive gameplay experience. While the game may have some flaws in its difficulty and story, the game's strengths more than make up for it. If you're a fan of action games or are looking for a unique and immersive world to explore, Control Ultimate Edition is definitely worth checking out. At number 2, we have Off, an expanded remaster of the 2008 French indie classic, bringing its abstract world to modern platforms. You guide the protagonist, the Batter, on a holy mission to purify multiple distinct zones of impurities. This eerie landscape explores themes of rampant industrialism, replacing the seas with liquid plastic, while utilizing meta-narrative elements to subvert traditional player-character dynamics. The gameplay consists of straightforward turn-based battles utilizing an ATB-like system alongside number-focused puzzle solving. While regular combat can feel simple and easily solved with slight experimentation, this version shines brightest with several newly added mechanically deep boss fights designed by original creator Mortis Ghost. Puzzles and progression initially appear obtuse, but taking notes and speaking to the stranger, anguished inhabitants of this bleak setting will help you find the right logic. Visually, the game employs stark overworld pixel art combined with distinct uncomfortable hand-drawn combat sprites that build a surrealist horror atmosphere. Because of copyright issues, the release features an entirely new unconventional soundtrack partially composed by Toby Fox. Instead of a single recurring theme, each zone features a unique variation of the core battle music to drive home your descent into the world. Spanning roughly 5 to 10 hours, the narrative offers multiple endings that purposely reject easy interpretation, leaving you feeling complicit and contemplative. If you play RPGs strictly for deep mechanical complexity, this title may miss the mark. However, if you want a striking, unforgettable distillation of unfiltered artistic expression, Off offers a rewarding experience. At number 3, we have Shadow Gambit, The Cursed Crew, a squad-based stealth strategy game where you command a cursed crew of undead pirates in a supernatural high-seas setting. You'll be navigating a series of complex missions on tropical islands, dodging cyclones, hiding in bushes, and executing synchronized takedowns, all while quick-saving and reloading your way to perfection. It fully embraces save scumming, not as a crutch, but as a core mechanic and narrative device. Your ship, the Red Marley, literally gives you the power to rewind time, turning each mission into a magical puzzle box. Each crew member offers wild creative powers: blink through shadows, possess patrolling guards, or grow bushes from nowhere. You get to choose a 3-person squad for each sortie, encouraging endless combinations and clever solutions. While the first act eases you in, the campaign ramps up to deliver 30 hours of brainy stealth challenges and delightfully absurd pirate banter. What makes this game unique is not just the magic or mayhem, it's the flexibility. Missions are not rigid puzzles with one answer. They are open-ended sandboxes where nearly any approach can work if you're clever or persistent enough. The result is a game that feels like Dishonored meets XCOM, but with more RAM, more skeletons, and fewer rules. It might lack the laser-focused design of Desperados 3, but it more than makes up for it in charm and replayability. Whether you're a veteran of the genre or just love pirates, this is a stealthy gem worth plundering. And number 4 we have Rollerdrome, an action-packed game that revolves around performance and style. The game has combat, but winning is not the only goal. It is more about the attitude and showmanship you bring to it. It features the story of Kara Hassan, who is thrown into a roller skating gladiator contest. The game's foundation is simple: skating, shooting, and murdering, but it builds on it to create a thrilling experience. With bullet time reminiscent of Max Payne, timing plays a crucial role in landing shots, and you can only get ammo back from doing tricks like grinds or perfect dodges. The game becomes electrifying when you can balance movement and attack, leading to exciting high-speed runs. Rollerdrome has a vibrant and highly readable sketchy look with retro-future, 70s-inspired design. The game can get incredibly chaotic, but the visuals and sound effectively communicate the necessary information to the player without causing confusion. As you progress, the complexity increases, and you encounter different enemy types that require new tactics. However, the difficulty curves feels perfectly pitched throughout the game. The game encourages players to perform daring moves and chase impossible score multipliers, which are essential to progress through the campaign. The game has modifiers to make it easier, but using them takes you off the leaderboards. Rollerdrome is an accessible game that allows players to enjoy it on their own terms. Overall, it is a single-minded, stylish, and evocative game that is hard to put down. It's a game about putting on a show, mastering a violent dance, and looking good while doing it. It's an excellent game that is almost as fun to watch as it is to play. And number 5 we have Paradise Killer, a detective game offering a groundbreaking experience in the detective genre. As Lady Love dies, an investigation freak, you're tasked with solving a complex murder mystery on a tropical island filled with eccentric characters and bizarre rituals. The game's greatest strength lies in the freedom it provides for investigation, allowing you to explore, speculate, and accuse at your own pace, based on the evidence you uncover. Unlike guided detective experiences in other games, Paradise Killer offers an open-ended investigation. Evidence automatically links itself to relevant parties, challenging you to discover connections and motives. The game rewards curiosity and keen detective skills, making you feel accomplished as you gather information and build your case. Paradise Killer stands out by offering not just one central crime, but a web of related mysteries to explore. It encourages you to prioritize cases and characters you find intriguing, resulting in a more personalized and immersive storytelling experience. The game's setting is a surreal tropical island where inhabitants worship alien gods and attempt human sacrifices. The game's zaniness is captivating, and a unique environment demands your buy-in, making it a perfect backdrop for the murder mystery. Exploration in Paradise Killer is highly rewarding. You will traverse the island's various boroughs, collecting collectibles, currency, and uncovering secrets. The characters are fascinating, each with complex motives and rich histories. The visual novel-style interactions with them add depth to the narrative. Paradise Killer empowers you to decide how to handle the suspects and offers a wide range of possibilities, creating an exciting and nerve-wracking atmosphere. The game's pace may have occasional lulls due to its open-ended nature, but this doesn't diminish the overall experience. The charmingly convoluted mysteries, neon aesthetics, fantastic soundtrack, quirky characters, and narrative twists set a new standard for investigative gameplay, making Paradise Killer one of the best detective games in the genre. It leaves you untethered and invested in its mysteries in a way you've never felt before, and it's a must-play for fans of the genre. And number 6 we have Blair Witch, a psychological horror game from Bloober Team. Set in 1998, you play as Ellis, an ex-cop searching the claustrophobic Black Hills forest for a missing child. You're not entirely alone, however. You're accompanied by your loyal dog, Bullet. Bullet is integral to your survival and investigation. You can issue commands via radio menu to make him seek clues, track scents, or stay close. If you stray too far from Bullet, your sanity quickly declines, triggering severe panic attacks and blackouts. He also warns you about invisible paranormal entities, which you must fight off by aiming your flashlight where he barks. The game masterfully captures the isolation of the original film, intentionally leading you around in frustrating circles to distort your perception of reality. You'll also discover puzzle videotapes that manipulate your physical surroundings in the present when you play them on your camcorder. While exploring, you can use a radio and a cell phone to communicate, deepening the mystery. The forest environments look stunning, boasting exceptional lighting that enhances the overall atmosphere. At times, navigating the dense woods becomes overly confusing, and getting stuck can temporarily kill the narrative momentum. Despite these minor pacing issues, this authentic slice of terror brilliantly messes with your mind through excellent environmental design. It stands out as an essential experience for horror fans, leaving you entirely convinced that you'll never want to step foot into a real forest ever again. At number 7 we have Fear the Spotlight, a third-person survival horror experience that serves as a debut title for Blumhouse Games. Developed by Cozy Game Pals, it delivers a nostalgic journey to the 1990s through a low-poly PS1-inspired aesthetic that feels both eerie and charming. You step into the shoes of Vivian, a shy student who sneaks into Sunnyside High after hours for a seance with her friend Amy. When the ritual goes wrong and Amy vanishes, you must navigate the dark atmospheric hallways to rescue her. The gameplay emphasizes exploration and tactile puzzle solving rather than combat. You'll find yourself interacting with environment objects in a satisfyingly manual way, such as physically dragging a cursor to unscrew bolts or turn dials. While the puzzles are reminiscent of classics like Resident Evil, they are more self-contained, ensuring you aren't overwhelmed. Since Vivian is asthmatic, you don't manage her traditional health bar. Instead, you monitor her lung status, using inhalers found around the school to recover after stressful encounters. Instead of jump scares, the game focuses on building an oppressive atmosphere and tension. You must use stealth to avoid the titular monster, a creature with a literal spotlight for a head. While the challenge may feel light for horror veterans, the emotional depth of the story and the relatable bond between Vivian and Amy make it an impactful experience. It is a beautifully crafted narrative-driven horror game that is perfect for you if you appreciate retro style and heart-filled storytelling. At number 8 we have The Last Campfire, a beautiful puzzle platformer with a compelling and deep story about meaning, hope, and coming to terms with mortality. You play as Ember, a cute little creature that looks like a pillowcase with limbs. You're in a convoy of rowing boats floating down a river with other pillowcase creatures. Your boat drifts off course and wrecks within a deep, dark forest. You must now find your way back to your fellow pillowcase friends. Along the way, you will meet a wise spirit guide who advises you to rescue the forlorn, creatures like you that have gotten lost in the world and have also lost all hope, turned almost to statues. You need to rescue the forlorn to continue your journey. In order to rescue them, you need to solve various puzzles to reignite hope within them. Once you have rescued and reignited enough forlorn's hopes, the spirit will allow you to move on to the next area of your journey. There are 3 main areas, the forest, the marsh, and the cave, each of their own unique mechanics, beautiful scenery, and forlorn puzzles to solve. You'll also meet many adorable characters along the way. The story is steeped in metaphor concerning everyday challenges that people face, from self-doubt and overcoming fear, to finding hope and gathering courage to move through challenges. All these emotions are cleverly conveyed without the characters muttering a single word of dialogue, barring the narrator. Puzzles are never too difficult, with some interesting and unique puzzles from each forlorn. You'll also be platforming and solving puzzles in the world around you. You can choose to save every single forlorn, but you can choose to ignore some too. Saving them will unlock in-game achievements though. You have access to the Lanthorn, a small horn that you can use to control certain aspects of the environment to help you move from one place to another. Each additional gameplay mechanic is simple, effective, and never overcomplicates the experience. The Last Campfire is a gem with atmospheric environments to explore, dozens of interesting characters to meet, and puzzles to solve in your effort to rekindle lost hope. At number 9 we have TOEM, a photography game. You play as a young, cute little creature thing in a cute little diorama black and white world, venturing through a series of locations doing good deeds for an expansive cast of curious characters. You're equipped with your camera, given to you by your grandmother, and you'll be completing tasks along your journey using this simple camera with a zoom. Most of these tasks are quite simple, usually involving photographing a specific object or doing fetch quests. Most NPCs you come across will tell you exactly what they want, but others may require a bit of thinking. You're going to have to figure out every option available to you to complete all of its over 60 tasks in this game. This not only adds spice to common fetch quests or photo tasks, but it's a great way to showcase everything you can do in the game. This game isn't long, clocking in between 3 to 6 hours depending on your speed and if you're a completionist. And most importantly, it is really relaxing to just sit down and play the game, to take a break from your hectic lifestyle of pushing skulls through rib cages and games. The photography is quite delightful, and there are some beautiful sights to be seen in this black and white world. You even have a horn attachment that you can activate to elicit different reactions of your subject. TOEM is lighthearted in its presentation, amusing in its writing, and pleasant in its airy soundtrack to help de-stress you. What sets TOEM apart is its excellent execution of the concept it puts forward. No design feels unfinished, and it is simply a well-crafted game through a charming world. So if you like a relaxing game and feel like a photographer in a cute little black and white world, then I would highly recommend TOEM. And that's all for this bundle. The IGN Live Bundle 2026 is an absolute steal if your backlog is lacking. For just $10, hitting the top tier unlocks bangers like Rollerdrome and Shadow Gambit. Yeah, Remedy is pushing Control for the 9th time in this century, but if you don't own it yet, it's a major win. Aside from a few repeats, it's a solid high-value drop that benefits Child's Play charity. If you're a PC gaming newbie, good game. This is a must-buy. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.